Welcome back, everybody that watches these videos, few and far between. This is another little Megacolony update video, as you know, my last one. So, yeah, 3 new cards have come out and been revealed in this new set, and I was gonna wait to talk about them when more came out, and then I kind of realized it's gonna be like these 3-day gaps in between each reveal, and kind of realized that nothing really big is gonna come out within this time period, so I'm gonna wait and do this like weekly, like bi-weekly maybe. But yeah, 3 cards have been released, and they've kind of given us a peek into how the deck is going to play. It looks really interesting, way different than Megacolony has been before. Honestly, I'm a little, I'm both concerned and interested because it's very, very, very different. And I'm sure you've already seen the cards before, so we'll just talk a bit about them. But anyway, the first boy we got here is Red Light Mutant Flat Tray. Now, Flat Tray is very different from the 2 that were revealed today. Flat Tray is grade 2 with his 7k power, which is kind of weird. His ability is Counterblast 1, choose 2 of your opponent's rear guards, rest them, and this unit gains their power to end of the turn. Of course, it is worth noting that if you choose 2 units that are already resting, you still get the power. It's just kind of a formality at this point. A lot of people have been asking about why it does that. They seem kind of confused. I don't know why it really needs to be explained at this point, because Megacolony have been having skills like this integrated into their card effects for years. The reason why it does that is because, for right now, it's more or less just a mix in with premium. It's just a side thing. It's the same reason why Darkface, had the ability to like rest a unit and then paralyze it. It's just there for convenience sake. It's there to help cards in the future. It's there to help cards that are in premium. It's just kind of there to be more flexible and more helpful to a problem that a subset of Vanguard has, that just being premium. He's a cool boy. I don't know if he's going to be in the main deck for standard, and I don't play premium, so I don't really know how to speak for him in terms of how that's going to work. But this guy's really cool. I mean, I like his art. I like his ability for the most part. I think that if something doesn't really come out that's really that solid, there really isn't a lot of power behind the new cards that come out, then we'll probably wind up running him. Problem is that if we're going off the machining route, we still have things like Nasty Smog or Dirty Smog. I can't remember what his name is. I haven't used him in years, I've never used him before, so I keep forgetting his name. But this guy, we have things like Smog that keep things from intercepting, and with Protect 2 being a big deal right now, I feel like that is definitely more relevant than this guy would be. That is a very impressive power gain, even if he has a 7k base. It's just riding him would kind of suck. So I think it remains to be seen how it's going to work out. Next one up here is Flowery Tiara. This is the simpler one of the 2 units that were revealed today, both which are grade 1. So Flowery Tiara is continuous rearguard. If your opponent's card was put from the deck into the drop zone this turn, this unit gets power plus 5k. So Megacolony is going to be a mill deck, it looks like. I'm not going to say that for sure, but it's looking pretty milly. And I'm pretty interested in seeing where this goes. I'm also pretty interested in seeing how this plays against Granblue. This little girl just racking up power during the rear guard. I mean, it's not really gonna do much, obviously, but it's kind of cute that like this card is just gonna sit here and beef up while you're playing against Granblue. It's interesting. I don't know how much power this is gonna get. I don't know how much milling is gonna be done. If it's heavy milling, that's gonna be really interesting. Honest to God, I'm really looking forward to seeing how intense and how like crazy this whole thing's gonna be, because that could be dangerous, and it's also a first. As far as I know, no clan at this point has had like an aggressive milling mechanic that forces out a mill. And I think it's going to be pretty interesting here on out to see how delicately they handle this, because I personally feel like it might be very underwhelming if they don't do it right, but it could be very overwhelming if they don't do it right as well. It's going to be interesting to see where it lies on that. I'd prefer, obviously, that it be in between. I don't want it to be either one. I don't want the deck to be too ridiculous on one end, but I also don't want it to be like too shit on one end either, That aside, let's talk about the last reveal here, which is... now this guy has his 2 names, and nobody can seem to decide on the translation. I've seen one translation where his name is Brownie Jerk, and I've seen another one where his name is Brawny Jack. So I don't know. They both sound pretty goofy, but we'll call him Brawny for right now. B. His name is B. B's skill is rear guard. When it is placed, cost Soul Blast 1. This unit gets power plus 6,000 to the end of turn. Put the top card of your opponent's deck into the drop zone. If it is a grade 1 or greater, you soul charge 1. When this unit boosts a unit that attacks a grade 3 or greater Vanguard cost, discard a card from your hand. Your opponent chooses a card from his or her hand and discards it. I don't know about him, honestly. The mill effect is cool, but it feels like this guy's only really super usable if it's gonna be like the only grade 1 that caters to the action or the attempt to mill out your opponent. I mean, it's cool, he gains a little bit of power, you soul charge, which I'm gonna assume that either Cyclomatooth or Gunning Chiorio is gonna have like a soul boss ability. It just kind of depends. Discard one, I don't know. I don't even know how to... It does it pre-Vanguard attack, so I don't know. It boosts a unit that attacks a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, so I mean, you could, in theory, as long as you have a bulky enough hand, kind of screw up your opponent, and I enjoy that. I enjoy the fact that there is this extra little method to throw off your opponent. I think it'll be interesting. I think that it's something fun to add to the playstyle. I like how it's an all-encompassing just attempt to ruin the opponent's game, and not really in a consistent way. It just kind of does it all together. It's milling, it's negging them from power, it's discarding from their hand, it's resting their stuff. It's just this one big attempt to just screw your opponent in every way, shape, or form. I'd like to see something focused on their counterblast. That'd be fun. I want to see something actually... I want them to not be able to play the game properly, but I want to focus more on resources that are actually like super vital, like again counterblast. I want to maybe prevent calling. I'd like to prevent Vanguard attacks just because, not like consistently, just for a turn, because I would like to see things that are really solid, like Royal Paladins that have 2 Vanguard attacks, and things like, I mean, Excel decks. Like, I want to see Excel decks kind of get like a knock down a peg in regards to this. I just feel like right now with what we have a really good start to something that can lead to that, but I want to see a little more consistent push towards, you know, if you're going to take away their hand, go for it full force. If you're going to take away their deck and you're going to start milling out their deck, go full force with it, because some clans aren't really going to care. Again, Excel decks aren't really going to care if you're milling them out. They rush. Really, Excel games don't seem to last more than 1 or 2 turns past the grade 3, and you know that's scary, and I don't want to have that handicap purely because this deck caters to a slow, you know, exhausting mill out. So I think it's gonna be pretty interesting to see exactly where this goes. I would like to hope that maybe some of the grade 2s are a bit better and we get a little more of a solid direction from the grade 3s, but until then, I guess we'll just theorize what we got now. Anyway, it's been great talking to you guys, and I will see you guys next time with the next batch of reveals. Until then, I will see you later.